In the kingdom of Ilarion, Princess Morgana found solace in the ancient royal garden, where a mystical willow tree whispered secrets of the past. One evening, the willow called her to a hidden grove, where it revealed tales of an ancient sorceress, Lyra, and a dark force threatening the kingdom. As Morgana listened, she felt a deep connection and newfound purpose. With each visit to the willow, she learned more about her destiny to restore balance and confront the lingering darkness. As night fell, Morgana prepared for her next journey, her heart full of resolve. As you drift off to sleep tonight, imagine the calming presence of the whispering willow and the serene beauty of the royal garden. Let its magic guide you into a peaceful and restful slumber. Sweet dreams and good night. Chapter 1. The Enchanted Garden. In the kingdom of Ilarion, nestled between the azure waters of the Seraphine Sea and the misty peaks of the Elder Tree Mountains, lay a verdant sanctuary known as the Royal Garden. This garden, more ancient than the kingdom itself, was a haven of tranquility and beauty. Its paths, lined with blooming flowers of every hue, wound through groves of towering trees and around sparkling fountains where crystal-clear water danced in the sunlight. Princess Morgana, the youngest daughter of King Thorian, often found solace within these lush confines. With her golden hair flowing like a river of sunlight and her emerald eyes reflecting the garden's myriad shades of green, she seemed a living embodiment of its beauty. Unlike her siblings, who busied themselves with the affairs of the court, Morgana preferred the company of nature. She spent her days wandering the garden, her heart in tune with the whispers of the wind and the songs of the birds. One balmy afternoon, as Morgana strolled through her favourite part of the garden, a secluded grove where roses climbed ancient stone arches, she felt a strange pull, a whispering call that seemed to come from the very heart of the garden. Curiosity piqued, she followed the sound, her footsteps light and eager. The path led her deeper into the garden than she had ever ventured before. The air grew cooler, and the sunlight dimmed as the canopy above thickened. Finally, she arrived at a clearing she had never seen, dominated by a majestic willow tree. Its branches, long and graceful, swept down to the ground, creating a natural alcove of shimmering green. Morgana approached the willow with awe. The tree exuded an ancient, serene energy that resonated deep within her. She gently pushed aside the curtain of branches and stepped into the alcove. As she did, she heard the faintest of whispers, a soft melodic voice carried by the breeze. "Welcome, Princess Morgana," the voice murmured, wrapping around her like a warm embrace. Morgana looked around, her heart pounding. She was alone, yet the voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am the Whispering Willow," the tree replied. "I have waited many years for one who could hear my voice. Sit, and I shall tell you stories of the past, tales that have been forgotten by time." Intrigued and enchanted, Morgana sat on a moss-covered stone at the base of the willow. As she leaned back against its sturdy trunk, she felt a wave of peace wash over her. The willow's branches swayed gently, and the whispers grew clearer, weaving a tapestry of words that painted vivid pictures in her mind. The whispering willow began to tell its first tale, a story of an ancient kingdom, once flourishing but now long forgotten. It spoke of a powerful sorceress named Lyra, who had protected the land with her magic. Lyra's love for the kingdom was profound, and she had woven her spells into the very fabric of the earth, ensuring prosperity and peace. But the tale took a darker turn as the willow spoke of a shadow that fell over the kingdom, a malevolent force that sought to undo Lyra's work. Despite her strength, the sorceress could not defeat the shadow alone. She cast a final spell, hiding her greatest secrets and the key to the kingdom's salvation within the forest, awaiting the one destined to restore balance. As the tale ended, Morgana felt a deep connection to Lyra's story. The whispering ceased, and the grove fell silent, but Morgana's mind buzzed with questions and a sense of purpose she had never felt before. "Return tomorrow," the willow whispered. "There is more you must learn." Morgana nodded, her heart filled with a mixture of wonder and determination. She rose and made her way back through the garden, the evening shadows lengthening around her. The secrets of the past called to her, and she knew that her journey had only just begun. The next morning, Princess Morgana awoke with a sense of anticipation. The whispering voice of the willow had lingered in her dreams, filling her mind with visions of the ancient kingdom and the mysterious sorceress, Lyra. As the first light of dawn crept into her chambers, she dressed quickly and made her way to the royal garden. The garden was bathed in the soft golden light of morning. Dew glistened on the petals of the flowers, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming jasmine. Morgana followed the familiar path to the secluded grove where she had encountered the willow tree the previous day. Her heart quickened with each step. As she approached the clearing, she felt the same serene energy envelop her. The willow stood majestically, its branches swaying gently in the morning breeze. Morgana stepped into the alcove created by the drooping branches and sat down on the moss-covered stone. "Welcome back, Princess Morgana," the willow's whisper greeted her. "Are you ready to continue your journey into the past?" "Yes," Morgana replied, her voice steady with determination. "I want to learn more." The willow's branches rustled softly, and the whispers began anew, weaving a continuation of the story. The tree spoke of Lyra's early years, how she discovered her magical abilities and used them to nurture the land. Under her care, the kingdom flourished, and its people lived in harmony with nature. But the peace was shattered when a dark force emerged from the shadows, threatening to consume the kingdom. This malevolent entity, known as the Shadow Lord, sought to corrupt the magic that sustained the land. Lyra, with all her power, stood against him, but she knew she could not defeat him alone. In a desperate bid to protect the kingdom, Lyra cast a powerful spell, hiding her most potent secrets within the forest. These secrets were bound to the ancient trees, awaiting the one destined to unlock their power. The willow revealed that the Shadow Lord's influence had never fully waned, and that remnants of his dark magic still lingered in the hidden corners of the forest. Morgana listened intently, her mind racing with the implications of the story. The prophecies she had deciphered the previous day spoke of a princess who would restore balance to the land. Could it be that she was the one destined to fulfill this ancient prophecy? "Princess Morgana," the willow whispered, interrupting her thoughts. "The path you must take is fraught with danger and uncertainty, but you are not alone. The forest holds many allies, and they will guide you on your journey." Morgana nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "I will do whatever it takes to protect my kingdom and fulfill the prophecy." The willow's branches swayed as if in approval. "There is a secret pathway that leads deeper into the forest," it whispered. "Follow it, and you will find the hidden grove, where the remnants of the ancient kingdom still lie. There you will uncover the secrets that Lyra hid away." With these words, the whispering ceased, and the grove fell silent once more. Morgana stood, her heart filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. She knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but she also felt a sense of purpose and destiny guiding her steps. As she made her way back through the garden, the morning sun rose higher in the sky, casting long shadows on the path. Morgana's mind buzzed with thoughts of the ancient sorceress, the Shadow Lord, and the secrets hidden within the forest. She resolved to return to the willow the following day, ready to embark on the journey that awaited her. The sun cast golden rays over the royal garden, painting the scene in hues of early morning splendor. Princess Morgana felt a newfound sense of purpose as she made her way through the familiar paths, her heart resonating with the whispers of the willow tree from the previous days. She could feel the pull of destiny as she approached the ancient tree once more. The willow's branches swayed gently as if welcoming her back. Morgana settled into the mossy alcove beneath the tree, her fingers lightly tracing the delicate leaves. She closed her eyes and let out a deep breath, ready to immerse herself in the next part of the tale. "Welcome back, Princess Morgana," the willow whispered, its voice as soft and soothing as a lullaby. "Today, I shall tell you of the first tale, the story of Lyra's discovery and the birth of the prophecy." Morgana leaned back against the sturdy trunk, feeling its warmth seep into her. The willow began its tale, and she was transported to a time long past. Lyra was born under a sky streaked with the colors of the aurora, a sign of her extraordinary destiny. From a young age, she exhibited a unique connection to the natural world. Plants thrived in her presence, animals were drawn to her, and the elements themselves seemed to bend to her will. Her parents, wise and loving rulers, recognized her gift and nurtured it, guiding her as she grew. As Lyra came of age, she ventured deep into the heart of the forest, drawn by a calling she could not ignore. There, she encountered a grove of ancient trees, their branches whispering secrets of the land's magic. Among them stood the whispering willow, the very tree that now spoke to Morgana. The willow shared with Lyra the history of the kingdom and the magic that bound it together. It spoke of the harmony between the land and its people, a balance maintained by the sorceress's ancestors for generations. Lyra learned that her destiny was to protect and strengthen this bond, to ensure the prosperity of the kingdom for ages to come. But the peace was shattered when the Shadow Lord, a being of pure malevolence, emerged from the depths of darkness. His influence spread like a plague, corrupting the land and its magic. Lyra, with her profound connection to the natural world, stood as the kingdom's last line of defense. In a desperate bid to safeguard the kingdom, Lyra cast a powerful spell. She infused her magic into the ancient trees, creating a network of protection that would endure even if she could not. The willow, as the heart of this network, became the guardian of her secrets and the prophecy she had foreseen. The prophecy spoke of a time when darkness would rise again, and a new guardian would be needed to restore balance. This guardian, a princess of the royal bloodline, would possess a deep connection to the natural world, just as Lyra had. She would follow the whispers of the willow, uncover the ancient secrets, and wield the magic needed to vanquish the darkness. As the tale concluded, Morgana opened her eyes, her heart pounding with the weight of the story. She felt a deep kinship with Lyra, their destinies intertwined across the ages. The prophecy was clear, and Morgana knew that she was the princess destined to fulfill it. The willow's whispers faded, and the grove fell silent once more. Morgana rose, her resolve strengthened by the knowledge she had gained. She knew that her journey was just beginning, and that the secrets of the forest awaited her discovery. With a determined heart, Morgana left the grove, her mind filled with thoughts of the ancient sorceress and the prophecy that now guided her steps. She felt the presence of the willow, a silent guardian watching over her as she ventured deeper into the unknown. Princess Morgana's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions as she made her way back to the palace. The tale of Lyra and the prophecy had stirred something deep within her, a sense of purpose and destiny that she could not ignore. She knew she had to return to the willow and uncover the hidden secrets of the forest. The next morning, Morgana rose with the first light of dawn. The garden was still cloaked in the soft hues of twilight, the air fresh and cool. She walked quickly to the willow tree, her heart pounding with anticipation. The willow's branches swayed gently as she approached, as if acknowledging her arrival. "Welcome back, Princess Morgana," the willow whispered, its voice like a gentle breeze. "Are you ready to continue your journey?" "Yes," Morgana replied, her voice steady with determination. "Show me the way." The willow's branches rustled, and a soft light began to glow from within the tree. The light formed a delicate pathway, winding through the grove and into the depths of the forest. Morgana took a deep breath and stepped onto the path, the light guiding her steps. The pathway led her deeper into the forest than she had ever ventured before. The trees grew taller and more ancient, their branches intertwining to form a canopy overhead. The air was filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the sounds of the forest surrounded her, a symphony of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. As she walked, Morgana felt a sense of wonder and awe. The forest seemed alive with magic, every tree and plant whispering secrets of the past. She followed the lighted path, her steps sure and steady, until she reached a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a stone archway, covered in moss and vines. The archway was old and weathered, but there was an aura of magic about it that made Morgana's heart quicken. She approached the archway and placed her hand on the cool stone. "Here lies the entrance to the hidden grove," the willow's voice whispered in her mind. "Beyond this archway, you will find the remnants of the ancient kingdom and the secrets that Lyra hid away." Morgana took a deep breath and stepped through the archway. As she did, a wave of magic washed over her, and the clearing transformed. The trees became even more majestic, their branches shimmering with a soft, ethereal light. Flowers of every color bloomed in abundance, their petals glowing with an inner radiance. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms and the sound of a distant, melodious hum. Morgana walked further into the grove, her eyes wide with wonder. She felt a deep connection to this place, as if it were a part of her very soul. The grove seemed to recognize her, welcoming her with open arms. In the center of the grove, she found a large, ancient tree, its trunk gnarled and twisted with age. The tree exuded a powerful energy, and Morgana knew that this was the heart of the grove. She approached the tree and placed her hand on its rough bark. As she did, the tree began to glow with a soft, golden light. The light spread to the surrounding trees, illuminating the entire grove. Morgana felt a surge of magic flow through her, filling her with a sense of peace and clarity. The willow's voice echoed in her mind. "You have found the hidden grove, Princess Morgana. Here you will uncover the secrets that Lyra hid away. But be cautious, for the path ahead is fraught with danger and uncertainty. Trust in yourself and the magic that flows through you." Morgana nodded, her heart filled with determination. She knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but she was ready to face whatever lay in her path. She had the guidance of the willow and the strength of the grove to support her. As the light of the grove began to fade, Morgana felt a sense of purpose and destiny guiding her steps. She knew that she was the one destined to fulfill the prophecy and restore balance to the land. With a determined heart, she left the grove, ready to uncover the secrets of the past and embrace her destiny. As Princess Morgana ventured deeper into the hidden grove, the atmosphere grew increasingly enchanting. The trees here were ancient, their trunks wide and their branches heavy with shimmering leaves that seemed to whisper secrets of old. The air was thick with magic, and Morgana felt it humming through her veins, a soothing and invigorating force. She paused for a moment to take in her surroundings. The hidden grove was unlike any place she had ever seen. Flowers of vibrant, otherworldly colours bloomed in every corner, their petals glowing softly in the dappled light. A gentle breeze carried the scent of jasmine and honeysuckle, and the melodious hum of unseen creatures filled the air. In the centre of the grove stood a massive oak tree, its branches spreading out like a protective canopy. The tree exuded an aura of wisdom and strength, its bark etched with intricate symbols that seemed to pulse with life. Morgana approached the tree, her heart pounding with a mixture of awe and anticipation. As she laid her hand on the rough bark, a warm sensation spread through her fingers. The tree seemed to respond to her touch, its branches rustling softly as if acknowledging her presence. A faint glow emanated from the symbols, illuminating the grove with a gentle, golden light. "Welcome, Princess Morgana," a voice echoed in her mind, different from the whispering Willow, but equally soothing and wise. "You have found the heart of the hidden grove, where the secrets of the ancient kingdom lie hidden. It is here that you will uncover the truth of your destiny." Morgana took a deep breath, feeling a sense of peace settle over her. She knew that she was on the brink of discovering something important, something that would change the course of her life. She closed her eyes and listened to the voice of the ancient oak. Long ago, this land was protected by a powerful sorceress named Lyra, the oak began. Her magic was woven into the very fabric of the kingdom, ensuring peace and prosperity. But darkness threatened this harmony, and Lyra knew that a time would come when her magic would be needed once more. The symbols on the tree glowed brighter, and Morgana felt a surge of energy flow through her. Images began to form in her mind, vivid and clear. She saw Lyra standing in this very grove, casting her final spell. She saw the Shadow Lord, a figure of pure malevolence, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the chance to strike. Lyra's magic was strong, but she knew that she could not defeat the Shadow Lord alone, the oak continued. She wove her most powerful spells into the trees of this grove, creating a sanctuary where her secrets would be safe until the one destined to restore balance arrived. Morgana opened her eyes, her heart pounding with the weight of the revelation. She understood now why the willow had guided her here, why the grove had welcomed her. She was the one destined to fulfill the prophecy, to restore the balance that Lyra had fought so hard to protect. "The path ahead will not be easy," the oak warned. "The Shadow Lord's influence still lingers, and you will face many challenges. But you are not alone. The magic of the grove will guide you, and the allies you find along the way will support you." Morgana nodded, her resolve strengthened by the oak's words. She felt a deep connection to the ancient sorceress, a bond that transcended time and space. She knew that she was ready to embrace her destiny, to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a final whisper of thanks to the oak, Morgana stepped back and looked around the grove. She felt a sense of belonging, of being part of something greater than herself. The secrets of the past had been revealed, and she was ready to carry them forward into the future. As she made her way back through the grove, the light began to fade, casting long shadows on the path. But Morgana's heart was light, filled with the magic of the grove and the strength of her newfound purpose. She knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, but she was ready to face it with courage and determination. With the knowledge of the hidden grove fresh in her mind, Princess Morgana returned to the willow tree the next morning, feeling a deep sense of purpose. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden glow over the garden. The willow's branches swayed gently in the breeze, as if in anticipation of her arrival. "Welcome back, Princess Morgana," the willow whispered as she settled beneath its branches. "You have uncovered the secrets of the hidden grove, but there is one more tale you must hear. It is the tale of the ancient prophecy that binds you to this land." Morgana closed her eyes, her heart pounding with anticipation. The willow's whispers grew stronger, weaving a tapestry of words that painted vivid images in her mind. Long ago, when the kingdom was young, a great seer visited this land, the willow began. She was known as Seraphina, a woman of immense power and wisdom. She foresaw the rise of the Shadow Lord and the threat he would pose to the kingdom. In her visions, she saw a future where darkness would once again encroach upon the land. But she also saw hope. A princess of the royal bloodline who would rise to meet the challenge and restore balance. The image of Seraphina appeared in Morgana's mind, a woman with flowing silver hair and eyes that seemed to see into the very soul. She stood in the grove, her hands raised to the sky, her voice chanting ancient words of power. Seraphina cast her prophecy into the very fabric of the kingdom, the willow continued. She wove it into the trees, the rivers, and the stones, ensuring that it would endure through the ages. Her words spoke of a time when the Shadow Lord's influence would begin to spread once more, and the kingdom would be in peril. But it also spoke of a princess, born of royal blood, who would possess the strength and wisdom to reclaim the lost magic and restore peace. Morgana felt a shiver run down her spine. She understood now why she had always felt such a strong connection to the garden, to the forest, and to the land. The prophecy was not just a story from the past, it was her destiny. The princess, the willow whispered, would be guided by the whispers of the willow tree, led to the hidden grove, and entrusted with the secrets of the ancient sorceress, Lyra. She would face great challenges, but with the help of her allies and the magic of the land, she would overcome them and bring balance back to the kingdom. Morgana opened her eyes, her heart filled with determination. She knew that she was the princess of the prophecy, and that her journey was only just beginning. She had been chosen to fulfill a destiny that had been written long before she was born, and she was ready to embrace it. "Thank you," she whispered to the willow, her voice filled with gratitude. "I will do everything in my power to restore balance to the kingdom." The willow's branches swayed gently, as if in approval. "You are not alone, Princess Morgana. The magic of the land is with you. and the allies you meet along the way will help you in your quest. Trust in yourself and in the wisdom of those who came before you." With a final nod, Morgana stood and made her way back through the garden. The sun was now fully risen, casting a warm glow over the path. She felt a sense of peace and purpose, knowing that she was on the right path. As she walked, she thought of Lyra and Seraphina and the legacy they had left behind. She thought of the Shadow Lord and the darkness that still threatened the land. And she thought of the journey that lay ahead, filled with unknown dangers and challenges. But she was ready. With the guidance of the willow, the magic of the grove, and the strength of her own heart, Morgana knew that she could face whatever lay ahead. The ancient prophecy was clear, and she was determined to fulfill it. The secrets of the past had been revealed, and now it was time to carry them forward into the future. With a heart full of courage and a spirit filled with hope, Princess Morgana set off on her journey, ready to embrace her destiny and restore balance to the land. Chapter 2: The Journey of Discovery. Princess Morgana returned to the Willow the next morning, her mind still buzzing with the revelations of the previous day. The morning air was crisp, and the garden was alive with the songs of birds and the rustle of leaves. As she approached the willow, she felt a sense of anticipation and readiness. "Good morning, Princess Morgana," the willow whispered as she settled beneath its branches. "Are you prepared to hear the next part of your journey?" "Yes," Morgana replied, her voice steady. "I am ready." The willow's whispers grew stronger, and Morgana closed her eyes, allowing the ancient tree's words to envelop her. "Before you begin your quest to restore balance, there is another tale you must hear," the willow began. "It is the story of the forgotten kingdom and the powerful relic that lies hidden within its ruins. This relic holds the key to defeating the Shadow Lord and fulfilling your destiny." Morgana listened intently, her mind conjuring images of the forgotten kingdom, a place of ancient power and mystery, lost to time but not forgotten. The willow's words painted a vivid picture of the kingdom's glory days, a time when magic flowed freely and the land was prosperous. But the kingdom was not immune to the darkness, the willow continued. The Shadow Lord's influence spread, and the kingdom fell into ruin. Its people were scattered and its magic faded. But one relic remained, a powerful artifact imbued with the magic of the ancient sorceress Lyra. This relic, known as the Heart of Ilarion, holds the power to restore balance and defeat the Shadow Lord. Morgana felt a surge of determination. She knew that finding the Heart of Ilarion was the next step in her journey. She had to venture into the ruins of the Forgotten Kingdom, uncover the relic, and harness its power. "The path to the Forgotten Kingdom is fraught with danger," the willow warned. "You will face many challenges, but you must trust in yourself and the allies you will find along the way. The magic of the land is with you, and you are not alone." Morgana nodded, her heart filled with resolve. She stood and thanked the willow for its guidance. With a final whisper of encouragement, the willow's voice faded, and the grove fell silent. As Morgana made her way back through the garden, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey ahead would be difficult, but she was ready to face it with courage and determination. She thought of Lyra and Seraphina and the legacy they had left behind. She thought of the heart of Ilarion and the power it held. And she thought of the Shadow Lord and the darkness that still threatened the land. With a heart full of hope and a spirit filled with strength, Princess Morgana set off on her journey, ready to uncover the relic, restore balance to the kingdom, and fulfill her destiny. Morgana ventured beyond the boundaries of the royal garden, stepping into the dense, untamed forest that lay beyond. The path was narrow and winding, overgrown with vines and brambles. She moved with determination, guided by the whispers of the Willow, and the knowledge that the heart of Ilarion awaited her in the ruins of the Forgotten Kingdom. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature. Birds chirped high in the canopy, and the rustle of leaves accompanied her every step. As she walked, Morgana thought of the tales she had heard about the Forgotten Kingdom. Once a place of great beauty and power, it had been reduced to ruins by the Shadow Lord's influence. Yet, she knew that within those ruins lay the key to restoring balance to the land. Days turned into nights as Morgana journeyed deeper into the forest. She encountered many challenges along the way: steep ravines, fast-flowing rivers, and dense thickets that seemed to resist her passage. But she pressed on, driven by a sense of destiny and the knowledge that the kingdom depended on her. One evening, as the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the forest, Morgana came upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood the remnants of an ancient stone archway, half buried in moss and ivy. She recognized it from the Willow's tale. It was the entrance to the Forgotten Kingdom. Morgana stepped through the archway, feeling a shiver of anticipation. Beyond lay the ruins of a once great city. Crumbling walls and broken towers stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. The air was thick with the scent of decay and the lingering magic of the past. As she explored the ruins, Morgana felt a profound sense of sadness for the people who had once lived here. The kingdom had been a place of great beauty and magic, now lost to the ravages of time and darkness. But she also felt a sense of hope. She was here to reclaim what had been lost, to restore the balance and bring new life to the land. Morgana's footsteps echoed through the empty streets as she made her way to the heart of the city. There, in the center of a vast courtyard, she found a large, ornate pedestal. Atop the pedestal lay a stone tablet, etched with ancient runes. She reached out and touched the tablet, feeling a surge of magic course through her. The runes glowed with a soft golden light, and the tablet began to hum with energy. Morgana knew that she had found the heart of Ilarion, the relic that would help her restore balance to the kingdom. With the tablet in her hands, Morgana felt a sense of power and purpose. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She would carry the heart of Ilarion back to the Willow, uncover its secrets and use its magic to defeat the Shadow Lord and restore peace to the land. As the sun set over the ruins of the forgotten kingdom, casting long shadows over the broken stones, Morgana felt a deep sense of resolve. She had found the relic, but now she had to unlock its power and fulfill the ancient prophecy. With a heart full of determination, she set off on the next leg of her journey, ready to embrace her destiny and restore balance to the kingdom. Princess Morgana left the ruins of the Forgotten Kingdom with the heart of Valerian safely in her possession. The stone tablet, now wrapped carefully in her cloak, pulsed with a gentle warmth, a reassuring presence as she navigated the dense forest. The path ahead was uncertain, but she felt a renewed sense of purpose, driven by the power of the relic and the destiny that awaited her. As she journeyed deeper into the forest, Morgana knew that she could not accomplish her quest alone. She needed allies, companions who could aid her in unlocking the secrets of the heart of Ilarion and facing the challenges that lay ahead. The Willow had spoken of allies in the forest, beings who would guide and support her. On the third day of her journey, as the sun reached its zenith, Morgana stumbled upon a glade bathed in golden light. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers, and the soft murmur of a stream nearby created a soothing melody. In the center of the glade stood a tall figure, clad in robes of deep green, their face hidden by a hood. Beside the figure, a majestic stag grazed peacefully, its antlers glistening like polished ivory. Morgana approached cautiously, her hand resting on the hilt of her dagger. The figure turned, revealing a pair of piercing blue eyes that seemed to see into her very soul. "Princess Morgana," the figure said, their voice calm and melodic. "I have been expecting you." Morgana's grip on her dagger relaxed, and she stepped closer. "Who are you?" she asked, her curiosity piqued. "I am Thalarin," the figure replied, lowering their hood to reveal a kind, weathered face framed by silver hair. "Guardian of the forest and protector of its secrets. The Willow has told me of your journey, and I am here to aid you." The stag beside Thalarin raised its head, its dark eyes meeting Morgana's with a deep, knowing gaze. Morgana felt a sense of peace wash over her, and she knew that Thalarin and the stag were the allies the Willow had promised. "I am honored to meet you, Thalarin," Morgana said, bowing slightly. "I seek to restore balance to the kingdom and defeat the Shadow Lord. The heart of Ilarion is the key, but I do not yet know how to unlock its power." Thalarin nodded, a thoughtful expression on their face. "The heart of Ilarion is a powerful relic, but its magic is ancient and complex. To unlock its power, you must gather the 4 elemental essences: earth, water, fire, and air. These essences are guarded by the spirits of the forest, and only by earning their trust can you obtain them." Morgana felt a surge of hope. The path was becoming clearer, and with Thalarin's guidance, she knew she could succeed. "Where do I find these spirits?" she asked, her voice filled with determination. Thalarin gestured to the stag. Eldrin, my companion, will guide you to the first spirit, the spirit of earth. It dwells in the heart of the ancient oak grove to the north. The journey will be challenging, but you are not alone. Eldrin and I will be with you every step of the way. Morgana nodded, gratitude swelling in her heart. Thank you, Thalarin. With your help, I believe we can restore balance to the land. Thalarin smiled, a glimmer of hope in their eyes. The forest believes in you, Princess Morgana. Together, we will face the darkness and bring light back to the kingdom. With Eldrin leading the way, Morgana set off towards the ancient oak grove. The forest seemed to come alive around them, the trees whispering encouragement and the animals watching with curious eyes. As they travelled, Thalarin shared stories of the forest's history and the spirits that guarded its magic. The journey was not without its challenges. They traversed steep hills and crossed swift rivers, each obstacle a test of their resolve. But with Eldrin's keen senses and Thalarin's wisdom, they pressed on, drawing closer to their goal with each passing day. Finally, after several days of travel, they arrived at the ancient oak grove. The trees here were enormous, their branches intertwining to form a dense canopy that blocked out the sky. The air was thick with the scent of earth and moss, and a profound sense of age and power permeated the grove. At the center of the grove stood the largest oak tree Morgana had ever seen, its trunk wide enough to house a small village. Its bark was rough and ancient, etched with the passage of countless centuries. The air around it seemed to hum with a deep, resonant energy. Eldrin, the majestic stag, led Morgana and Thalarin to the base of the great tree and then bowed its head in reverence. The spirit of earth resides within this ancient oak, Thalarin said softly. You must approach it with respect and humility, Princess Morgana. Only then will it reveal itself to you. Morgana nodded and took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. She stepped forward and placed her hand on the tree's rough bark. Closing her eyes, she allowed herself to feel the heartbeat of the earth, the deep and steady pulse that connected all living things. Spirit of earth, she whispered, her voice barely audible. I am Princess Morgana, and I seek your guidance and aid. I wish to restore balance to the kingdom and defeat the Shadow Lord. Please grant me your essence so that I may fulfill my destiny. For a moment, there was only silence. Then, slowly, Morgana felt the ground beneath her feet begin to tremble. The great oak's branches rustled, and a deep, rumbling voice filled the grove. Princess Morgana, the spirit of earth intoned, its voice as ancient and powerful as the earth itself. You seek to restore balance to the land and defeat the darkness. This is a noble quest, but it is not without its challenges. To earn my essence, you must prove your connection to the earth and your commitment to protecting it. Morgana nodded, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. I am ready, she said firmly. What must I do? The spirit of earth responded by summoning a vision before her. The ground beneath the great oak opened up. revealing a hidden chamber filled with roots and vines. In the center of the chamber lay a small, glowing crystal, pulsing with the essence of the earth. "Descend into the chamber," the spirit instructed. "Retrieve the crystal and return it to me. This task will test your resolve and your connection to the earth. Only then will you earn my essence." Morgana took a deep breath and stepped forward, feeling the earth shift beneath her feet as she descended into the hidden. The air was cool and damp, and the glow of the crystal illuminated the space with a soft green light. She made her way carefully through the tangle of roots and vines, her heart steady with determination. As she reached the center of the chamber, she reached out and grasped the crystal. Instantly, she felt a surge of energy flow through her, connecting her to the very essence of the earth. The crystal was warm in her hand, and she knew that she had passed the first test. With the crystal in her grasp, Morgana made her way back to the surface. As she emerged from the chamber, she felt a sense of triumph and relief. She approached the great oak and held out the crystal. "Spirit of Earth," she said, her voice strong and clear. "I have retrieved the crystal. I am ready to receive your essence and continue my journey." The Spirit of Earth seemed to smile, its presence filling the grove with warmth and light. "You have proven your worth, Princess Morgana. I grant you my essence, and with it, the strength of the earth. Use it wisely, and may it aid you in your quest." The crystal in Morgana's hand dissolved into a shimmering light that flowed into her, filling her with a deep, resonant power. She felt the essence of the earth settle within her, grounding her and giving her strength. "Thank you," Morgana whispered, her heart filled with gratitude. She turned to Thalarin and Eldrin, who were watching with proud expressions. "You have done well, Princess Morgana," Thalarin said, his voice filled with warmth. "With the essence of the earth, you are one step closer to fulfilling your destiny. Now we must seek out the remaining elemental spirits and gather their essences." Morgana nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. With the spirit of Earth's essence within her, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that the journey would be long and difficult, but with Thalarin, Eldrin, and the magic of the forest by her side, she felt confident that she could succeed. With a heart full of determination, Morgana set off once more, ready to seek out the remaining elemental spirits and unlock the full power of the heart of Ilarion. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but she was prepared to face it with courage and strength. With the essence of the Spirit of Earth now flowing through her, Princess Morgana felt a renewed sense of strength and purpose. Guided by Thalarin and accompanied by the majestic stag Eldrin, she continued her quest to gather the remaining elemental essences. Their next destination was the realm of water, a mystical land where rivers shimmered like liquid silver and waterfalls sang melodious tunes. The journey to the realm of water was arduous. They traversed treacherous mountains and crossed wide, swift rivers. The forest grew denser and darker, the air filled with the scent of damp earth and moss. Yet Morgana's resolve never wavered, her spirit buoyed by the presence of her companions and the promise of restoring balance to her kingdom. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a golden glow over the landscape, they arrived at the edge of a vast, tranquil lake. The water was so clear that Morgana could see the pebbles at the bottom, each one glowing faintly in the fading light. In the center of the lake stood a small island, shrouded in mist and crowned with ancient willows that dipped their branches into the water. "That is the Isle of Mists," Thalarin said, his voice soft and reverent. "The spirit of water resides there. To earn its essence, you must prove your understanding of the flow and depth of water, its power and its gentleness." Morgana nodded, her heart steady with determination. She stepped to the edge of the lake, feeling the cool water lap at her feet. Taking a deep breath, she waded into the lake, the water rising around her like a welcoming embrace. The journey to the isle was slow and deliberate, each step a test of her resolve. As she reached the island, the mist parted to reveal a small clearing surrounded by the ancient willows. In the center of the clearing stood a serene figure, their form fluid and ever-changing, like the water itself. The spirit of water's eyes were deep pools of blue, reflecting the calm and the fury of the lake. "Princess Morgana," the spirit said, their voice like the gentle lapping of waves. "You seek the essence of water to restore balance to your kingdom. But first, you must understand the nature of water, the strength that comes from its adaptability, the power it holds in its depths, and the life it sustains." Morgana nodded, her heart open to the spirit's words. "I am ready to learn," she said, her voice steady. The spirit of water extended a hand, and from the lake rose a small, glowing orb of water. "Take this orb and journey to the Heartful Cascade, the highest waterfall in the realm. Place the orb at the base of the falls and return here with the essence it absorbs. This will test your understanding of water's journey from stillness to movement, from calm to power." With the orb in her hands, Morgana set off once more, guided by the spirit's instructions. Thalarin and Eldrin remained on the isle, watching her progress with hopeful eyes. The journey to the Heartful Cascade took her through dense forests and over rocky cliffs, each step a testament to her determination. When she finally reached the cascade, she was awestruck by its majesty. The water tumbled down from a great height, crashing into a pool below with a thunderous roar. Morgana approached the base of the falls, feeling the mist on her skin and the raw power of the water. She placed the orb at the base of the falls and stepped back, watching as it absorbed the energy and essence of the water. The orb began to glow brighter, its light intensifying until it was almost blinding. Morgana felt a surge of energy flow through her, filling her with the strength and grace of the water. She knew that she had succeeded in her task. With the glowing orb in her hands, Morgana made her way back to the Isle of Mists. The journey back was quicker, her steps light and sure. As she reached the island, the spirit of water awaited her, their eyes filled with approval. "You have proven your understanding of water, Princess Morgana," the spirit said. "I grant you my essence, the strength of water to aid you in your quest." The orb dissolved into a shimmering mist that enveloped Morgana, filling her with the essence of water. She felt a profound connection to the element, a sense of peace and power that flowed through her like a river. "Thank you," Morgana whispered, her heart filled with gratitude. She turned to Thalarin and Eldrin, who greeted her with proud smiles. "You have done well, Princess Morgana," Thalarin said. "With the essences of earth and water, you are closer to fulfilling your destiny. Now, we must seek out the remaining elemental spirits and gather their essences." Morgana nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. With the essence of water within her, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that the journey would be long and difficult, but with her companions by her side, she was confident that she could succeed. With a heart full of determination and a spirit filled with hope, Morgana set off once more, ready to seek out the remaining elemental spirits and unlock the full power of the heart of Ilarion. The path ahead would be fraught with danger, but she was prepared to face it with courage and strength. With the essences of earth and water flowing through her, Princess Morgana felt a deep sense of balance and power. She knew that her journey was far from over, and the path ahead would lead her to confront the darkest threats to her kingdom. Guided by Thalarin and Eldrin, she set off to find the remaining elemental essences, fire and air. Their journey took them through dense forests and over rocky mountains, each step bringing them closer to their goal. As they travelled, Thalarin shared stories of the ancient spirits and the trials that lay ahead. Morgana listened intently, her resolve growing stronger with each tale. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of fiery red and gold, they arrived at the foot of a dormant volcano. The air was thick with the scent of sulphur, and the ground beneath their feet was warm to the touch. Thalarin gestured to the peak, where smoke curled lazily into the sky. "The spirit of fire resides within the heart of this volcano," he said. "To earn its essence, you must face the trials of fire and prove your courage and strength." Morgana nodded, her heart pounding with anticipation. She knew that this would be one of her greatest challenges, but she was ready to face it. She climbed the rocky path to the volcano's summit, feeling the heat intensify with each step. Thalarin and Eldrin remained at the base, their eyes filled with trust and hope. As Morgana reached the summit, she found herself standing before a massive stone door, its surface etched with ancient runes. She placed her hand on the door, feeling the heat radiate through her fingertips. With a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The chamber within was a cavern of molten rock and flames, the air thick with heat and the roar of fire. At the center of the chamber stood a tall figure, their form wreathed in flames. The spirit of fire's eyes glowed like embers, and their voice crackled with the intensity of a roaring inferno. "Princess Morgana," the spirit said, their voice echoing through the chamber. "You seek the essence of fire to restore balance to your kingdom. But first, you must prove your courage and strength in the face of the flames." Morgana stepped forward, her heart steady despite the heat. "I am ready," she said, her voice firm. The spirit of fire extended a hand, and from the flames rose a small, glowing ember. "Take this ember and journey to the Inferno Crag, the hottest and most treacherous part of the volcano. Place the ember at the heart of the crag and return with the essence it absorbs. This will test your courage and your ability to withstand the power of fire." With the ember in her hands, Morgana set off once more, guided by the spirit's instructions. The journey to the Inferno Crag was perilous, the path steep, and the air filled with the acrid scent of burning rock. The heat was nearly unbearable, but Morgana pressed on, her determination unwavering. When she finally reached the crag, she was met with a sight of raw, untamed power. Rivers of molten lava flowed around her, the heat so intense that the air shimmered. Morgana approached the heart of the crag and placed the ember on a rocky outcrop, feeling the searing heat radiate through her. The ember began to glow brighter, absorbing the essence of the fire. Morgana felt a surge of energy flow through her, filling her with the strength and power of the flames. She knew that she had succeeded in her task. With the glowing ember in her hands, Morgana made her way back to the chamber of the Spirit of Fire. The journey back was even more challenging, but she persevered, driven by the knowledge that she was one step closer to fulfilling her destiny. As she reached the chamber, the Spirit of Fire awaited her, their eyes filled with approval. "You have proven your courage and strength, Princess Morgana," the Spirit said. "I grant you my essence, the power of fire to aid you in your quest." The ember dissolved into a blaze of light that enveloped Morgana, filling her with the essence of fire. She felt a deep connection to the element, a sense of power and intensity that burned within her. "Thank you," Morgana whispered, her heart filled with gratitude. She turned to leave the chamber, her spirit renewed. Returning to Thalarin and Eldrin, Morgana was met with proud smiles and words of encouragement. "You have done well, Princess Morgana," Thalarin said. "With the essences of earth, water, and fire, you are closer to fulfilling your destiny. Now, we must seek out the final elemental spirit and gather its essence." Morgana nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. With the essence of fire within her, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that the journey would be long and difficult, but with her companions by her side, she was confident that she could succeed. With a heart full of determination and a spirit filled with hope, Morgana set off once more, ready to seek out the final elemental spirit and unlock the full power of the heart of Ilarion. The path ahead would be fraught with danger, but she was prepared to face it with courage and strength. With the essences of earth, water, and fire now flowing through her, Princess Morgana felt the power and responsibility of her destiny more keenly than ever. Her final task was to find the spirit of air and obtain its essence. Guided by Thalarin and accompanied by the stalwart Eldrin, she ventured into the highest peaks of the Elder Tree Mountains, where the spirit of air was said to dwell. The journey was arduous and treacherous. They climbed steep, rocky paths and traversed narrow ledges where a single misstep could mean disaster. The air grew thin and cold, and the wind howled around them, a constant reminder of the elemental power they sought. One morning, after several days of climbing, they reached a high plateau where the sky seemed to stretch endlessly above them. A vast expanse of azure dotted with wisps of white cloud. The plateau was surrounded by tall, slender spires of rock, each one carved by the wind into fantastic shapes. In the center of the plateau stood a solitary figure, tall and ethereal, with hair that flowed like silver and eyes that shimmered like the sky. The spirit of air turned to face Morgana, their gaze piercing and serene. "Princess Morgana," the spirit said, their voice like the whisper of the wind. "You seek the essence of air to complete your quest and restore balance to your kingdom. But first, you must understand the true nature of the air, its freedom, its swiftness, and its power to shape the world." Morgana nodded, feeling the wind tug at her hair and clothes. "I am ready," she said, her voice resolute. The spirit of air extended a hand, and a small glowing feather floated towards Morgana. "Take this feather and journey to the Peak of Whispers, the highest point in the Elder Tree Mountains. There, you must release the feather into the wind and return with the essence it gathers. This will test your understanding of air's freedom and power." With the feather in her hand, Morgana set off once more, guided by the spirit's instructions. The climb to the Peak of Whispers was the most challenging she had faced. The wind grew stronger and colder, and the path became steeper and more treacherous. But Morgana pressed on, her determination unwavering. When she finally reached the peak, she was greeted by a breathtaking view of the world below. The sky seemed to stretch forever, and the wind roared around her, a symphony of power and freedom. Morgana stepped to the edge of the peak and held out the feather, feeling the wind tug at it. "Spirit of air," she whispered, her voice carried away by the wind. "I release this feather to you. Grant me your essence, so that I may restore balance to my kingdom." The feather floated from her hand and was caught by the wind, soaring high into the sky. Morgana watched as it danced and twirled, carried away by the currents of air. She felt a connection to the wind, a sense of freedom and power that filled her with awe. After a few moments, the feather returned, glowing brighter than before. Morgana reached out and caught it, feeling a surge of energy flow through her. She knew that she had succeeded in her task. With the glowing feather in her hand, Morgana made her way back to the plateau where the spirit of air awaited her. The journey back was swift and exhilarating, the wind at her back and the essence of air filling her with strength and grace. As she reached the plateau, the spirit of air smiled, their eyes filled with approval. "You have proven your understanding of air, Princess Morgana," the spirit said. I grant you my essence, the freedom and power of the air to aid you in your quest. The feather dissolved into a shimmering breeze that enveloped Morgana, filling her with the essence of air. She felt a profound connection to the element, a sense of freedom and swiftness that flowed through her like a breath of fresh air. "Thank you," Morgana whispered, her heart filled with gratitude. She turned to Thalarin and Eldrin, who greeted her with proud smiles. "You have done well, Princess Morgana," Thalarin said. "With the essences of earth, water, fire, and air, you are now ready to unlock the full power of the heart of Ilarion and confront the Shadow Lord." Morgana nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. With the essences of all four elements within her, she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that the journey would be difficult, but with her companions by her side, she was confident that she could succeed. With a heart full of determination and a spirit filled with hope, Morgana set off once more, ready to unlock the full power of the heart of Ilarion and restore balance to her kingdom. The path ahead would be fraught with danger, but she was prepared to face it with courage and strength.